Hello, welcome back to everyone that's tuned into our channel, American Ultra Screw. Here we are today bringing to you a reaction to the United States losing on penalties to Panama, joined by Braden, Trey, Arjun, and Jeff. I mean, I like Arjun's name. He aged 30 years watching that game. That's fair. I'm going to go straight to you, Arjun. What are your initial reactions? We're just going to do this really broadly. Right after the game's over, what do you think? What are your main takeaways from this match?
Not surprised. For it to be different, but I'm not surprised. I'm not mad. I'm not sad. I don't really feel much of anything. I mean, it's kind of expected, like I said. So, I mean, no, it is what it is.
Wow, yeah. I mean, you can see that you're dejected just by, like, I don't even think you got 20 seconds on your take. You usually really enjoy them, but yeah, I mean, that's how I feel as well. Not mad, not sad. It's just, I feel like we threw it away. We made this competition that can actually be valuable for developmental purposes into nothing. Nothing came out of it. We don't really have any players that we took a look into and think, whoa, this guy can actually be a part in the future. So, Braden, what are your main takeaways from this match? And I mean, the comp briefly as well.
Yeah, I just want to say I told you so. You guys all thought we were going to win this game. I'm still perfect in my predictions, but yeah. Joking aside, it's like Arjun said, it's just a waste of a tournament, and it's a shame because there's so many players we could have tried out in this tournament, and I don't care about the results either. Like, to be honest, like I'm actually happy that Panama made it through, not only because I thought they were going to win, but also because it's good for CONCACAF to see someone different. If the USAC team is just wiping the floor with everyone every Gold Cup, it's just really not good for the region. So to see someone new in the final is definitely a good thing. Unfortunately, Jamaica won't be joining them, but yeah, it's just kind of a shame that US Soccer wasted this by not trying to try out some new talent and not even trying to win it either.
Yeah, that's completely fair. We did throw it away. Trey, what are your main takeaways? And explain to the viewers why you're wearing that.
Okay, yeah. So first I'll explain this. My brother went to Clemson University. I'm from South Carolina, so while I'm not going to Clemson University, I'm going to the University of Virginia. I'm still a huge Clemson fan. Clemson's mascot is the tiger, so Clemson Tigers, hence I'm wearing this.
Also for
But, oh yeah, too, they're okay, I guess. But anyway, in regards to the competition on a whole, and this game, really, I'm honestly pretty apathetic. I don't really care. I mean, this tournament was we kind of made this tournament really meaningless, as you're saying, Yuri, and the others. And yeah, honestly, there's only really a couple of guys who really even have a shot, like, at ever joining our first team. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's fair. Jeff, what are your main takeaways from this match? I know that you thought we were going to win just like me. I did say mine was biased, but you seemed a little bit more confident. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? And what do you think right now that we're actually out of the competition? Jeff?
Good analysis.
But
Yeah.
Jeff, good analysis, bro.
I think
You summed it up perfectly. You summed it up.
You did sum it up perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, can you hear us? I think he's protesting.
He's doing this on purpose.
He is protesting, yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it. It's like he summed up the game perfectly.
He did.
Awesome.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, if that's Jeff's participation, let's try to get into the game. I mean, first half, I'll be honest, I've slated this guy for a long time. I don't think he had a great game by any means, but I'll just say my little bright spots in the first half. I think that Buzio was having the best match I've seen from him ever, to be honest. I thought he actually had a good game for his standards.
Terrible
I don't
take.
think it was What?
That's a terrible take. But Buzio was shocking.
I've never seen him play better, honestly. Apart from maybe 2 games in Serie A. Like, I've never actually, and that's so long ago. So I think that Buzio, Cal, and Sands again, I'm just going to mention Sands is the only player that can leave this competition and his stock is higher than when he came on. I think he actually took the opportunity. Everybody knows we lack depth in the CDM position, you know, the Tyler Adams backup. We thought it could be Morris, speculated other guys, but Sands, he fought against every midfield by himself when it was actually challenging. So I'm just going to mention those three. I thought that Kyle was all right. I'm just going to say Vasquez was so underwhelming the entire match. Not only the first half, but yeah, from the first half, that's what I took. Second half, basically the same thing. Just very brief. I don't think there's much point on us going too in depth about the game, but Arjun, tactically or even play wise, what did you think about the first half and second half as well?
Yeah, first half, Panama were overrunning our midfield. They were running a 3-4-3, but some of the more forwards also dropped in the midfield, and we only had 3 men in our midfield. We had Busio, Sands, Mihalovic, and far and wide because they had to. Second half we were better. BJ Callahan made a change. Mihalovic shifted out one. Busio dropped into the DM role, more of an intro role. So we had more midfielders in present, and then we created more chances in the second half. We were in the second half, but I mean, it doesn't really mean much because we lost the game, and the creating chances was shocking. We couldn't create a chance to save our life. Okay, even if Panama played a bunch of random kids from the Panama high school or something, we wouldn't have created anything. Okay, like it was shocking. I've never seen worse chance creation in my life. We were crossing the ball into Ferreira's head. Ferreira is 5'9" and can't jump to save his life. We were crossing it to him. There's so many things I can say about this game, but again, I just don't feel like saying that much about this game. So, yeah. I mean, also I've got like a headache, and it's like midnight right now. So, I mean, watching that game gave me a headache. I don't know about you guys, but it gave me a headache. So yeah. Anyone else want to add something to that?
Yeah, Braden. Well, Jeff has his hand raised. Could this be his first participation?
I'm finally ready to talk. I just didn't have any words for this game. I was mad. I was infuriated. I was really, really frustrated about this result. And all I could say is this team had nothing. It had no desire. It had no spirit. It had no confidence either. It was just dead. That's the best way to describe this. The only one that had heart was my boy James Sands. And I told you guys from the beginning, this is his chance to redeem himself. And he took that chance with both arms. He took it, and he really was the only one that had any desire to give his best, and he did really good. And I wanted to see that from everyone, but they let us down. They really did. By the time that Panama scored, I already accepted defeat. Not gonna lie, I already accepted defeat. And once I saw that Ferreira equalize, I'm like, there's just something inside me saying that it's still over. We really should have. And also Cowell, in the first minute when he took that shot, I really thought that was going to be the first goal, but luck was not on our side today. And I was counting on the refs to maybe be on our side. CONCACAF in the headquarters saying, all right, give them a pen or something, just throw the game away, throw the game under the bus, let's set up another US-Mexico final. I was really hoping that, they were going to pull something up their sleeve, but they didn't. And let me just say that Panama actually deserved this win. They did really good.
All right, Shrey, what were your takes about this game? I mean, tactically, play-wise, where do you think that we made a mistake? If there was anything to fix, if it was fixable, given the personnel that we had out there, what are your takeaways from the game itself, first and second half?
Yeah, honestly, Jeff and Arjun described it pretty well. So I have a few players that I just want to mention. Jordy should be nowhere near the A team at all until he can lock down the starting spot for Asa Dagmar and start playing well. He should be nowhere near the first team, and he was someone that a lot of us were hoping could be near the first team. He was not good this Gold Cup. Also, I don't think Miles Robinson was bad, but I feel like he should have been doing better. I feel like he had a few shaky moments today. And as someone who's, I feel like most of us think that before this tournament or during this tournament that he should be someone that should be a part of the A team at least. Maybe not start, but should be part of the A team. I feel like he should have done better. Honestly, Aaron Long wasn't that bad. Brian Reynolds was pretty bad. I mean, he's pretty high on my list. I have him as the third best right back. He did not play well at all today. Vasquez was pretty disappointing in my opinion, and yeah, honestly, I don't have much more to add, honestly. I think Jeff and Arjun described it pretty well.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that, I'll go to you, Jeff. I'm just going to say that it's nice that you mentioned Vasquez being a disappointment. I mean, it's not nice. Let me just make that clear. But Arjun had previously said that we had no creativity, and I agree, but there was a moment in the first half where Cade Cowell picks up he intercepts a really poor pass. You can see that he wants to drive forward. He gives the ball to Vasquez, starts running. Yeah. Ferreira's already opening up, and Vasquez with the worst touch of all time. I mean, he can't. That was a simple pass, and you could see that by the time that he misses the pass, and the Panama defender is getting it, Cowell was already overlapping on the inside. So I mean, there was the idea there, the spark there, but I think Vasquez was so underwhelming today. Terrible match from him. I think that it's one of those matches where if your 9 is in a little bit of a better day, it could have gone a little bit different. But Braden, what were your takeaways?
Yeah, so the first couple of minutes, the game started absolutely wild. The complete opposite of the Canada game. I mean, the first minute, Cade Cowell hits the post, and honestly, the first couple of minutes, we were all over them. They had one somewhat decent chance, but it was all us. We had like 5 chances that could have ended up in something. But then as the half went on, Panama really grew into the game. And a big shout out to Carrasquilla in the midfield, because he showed why he's been this tournament's best player. I mean, he just dropping dimes left and right every time he got the ball. Our midfield was nowhere to be found. Like you guys said, James Sands was left to fight all by himself, and he doesn't have the quality to win that battle against Carrasquilla. And we got lucky that they had 2 goals that were called offside, but the breakthrough eventually came in extra time. And yeah, just horrible from the entire team. Brian Reynolds in particular had probably the worst first half I've ever seen him play, just in any game at any level, which was disappointing because he was one of the few young guys here that actually had promise that maybe we could take something away from this tournament, have as a positive, but he showed that he's not at the level yet, and why Roma were right to get rid of him. So those are my takeaways.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and it's crazy to see how the gap is in quality from our A team to our C team. I think this is our C team, but we see all these pages making imaginary lineups of how the U.S. can field 3 good teams right now, 3 great teams. Come on, we are nowhere near that. I think that there's a huge gap in quality. Guys like Georgie, Reynolds, I actually thought they were valuable call-ups, and I mean, I'd rather see them than some other MLS lifers, but they really didn't take their chance. Again, really disappointing. Like even Buzio, I think that he can leave this tournament somewhat happy with his performances, and I mean, I'd rather see him than Pomykal there, but I mean, none of these guys, apart from saying they took their chance. I think Neo can be happy too. Cowell, up to an extent, he's not ready for first team action yet, anyways. But I thought he was very, very intense, urgent. I mean, end product was like always, but I mean, a good tournament from him. And Matt Turner, we know that this is basically his preseason, so. I mean, it was a nice little preseason game time that he doesn't get at Arsenal. He's getting here. I think he actually made a case for himself to maybe attract some offers from Europe. But anything else you guys want to add on apart from on the penalties, Jeff?
Yeah, and you guys forgot to mention this, but this game it was probably like one of the first times I saw BJ Callahan poorly manage this game. You know, but just hold on, all right? I'm gonna give a good reason. See, we started out very energetic and we attacked from the get-go, right? That's good. But I think we attacked a little bit too much, and by like the 30-something minute, I already saw some players tired, like they were burned out, like they were gassed. And I was starting to question, and this was actually playing a part of how and why we played bad in this game. You know, our stamina was already really low. Like I already saw Vasquez, you know, tired. Like he was walking, he couldn't run. I saw that also Reynolds, he was tired as well. Bucio, you know, and I feel like this really heavily impacted how else we played during this game. And I felt like BJ, he should have you know, really set up the boys to see, you know, to, you know, save their stamina and stuff. You know, it really played a part, and it didn't look good. You know, I really feel like that he needs to learn from this, honestly.
He's not really gonna have time to learn.
Actually, yeah, he's actually done. Yeah, what am I thinking? Yeah, he's done. Yeah, literally done.
I'm just gonna say that I don't blame him on mismanaging the game. I just think that maybe going in with Buzio, Sands, and Mihailovic again, particularly Mihailovic, who, like Shrey mentioned before, had an even worse game than Buzio last time around. These guys played, I mean, again, went to penalties, so yeah, I get that they were maybe tired. The Heat in San Diego is also not that much of a help. But Braden, what do you think?
Yeah, just responding to that and going into it tactically a little bit, I actually don't blame BJ for this at all. And I think you were saying the players were tired, and I agree with that, but I think we have to consider the fact that they just played a whole 120-minute game a couple of days ago. We had one less day of rest than Panama, and we played an extra 30 minutes plus penalties, which is a huge factor. And going back to after the group stage, when Aiden Morris was sent home due to personal reasons, and Alan Signora had to go home as well because of injury, the fact that we only called up one midfielder to replace two is unforgivable, and especially when that one midfielder is Jackson Ewell, who we all know is useless.
Yeah, he didn't even play at all, right? He didn't play at all.
Our midfield was dead, especially when it got to later on in that game. Our midfield was completely dead, and you could see that, and yet we still didn't bring on Ewell. That's how much little faith we have in him, if you could say.
Yeah, and that's the reason why. That, like, you can actually add that to the reason how BJ did this Gold Cup. Like, he did not select, you know, reliable players, and especially rotational for this tournament. He really didn't. He just chose whatever he can find. You know, that's just poor from him.
I don't think that's on him though.
Exactly. I think that he had a limitation to the provisional roster, which that already stops him from bringing McLean, who's a guy that he probably knows well from Philly. I don't know how much he had, how much was his hand picking the players. I mean, I seriously doubt he was in favor for Ewell over any other midfielder. I don't get why we only called up one player, like Braden said. So yeah, I mean, we made this competition a waste. Anything else? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna add on one more thing in defense of BJ, because we saw that first half was one of the worst we've looked under BJ and in a long time. I think it's the least possession we had in a half since the 2021 Gold Cup final. Even against Netherlands, we still had more of the ball, which I think is pretty telling. But BJ went into halftime, and you saw we made a complete adjustment to the shape. And I think in the second half, it showed, because we were a lot more threatening, and we had a decent 10 to 15 minute spell there in the second half when we changed the shape to the 4-2-3-1 with Cowell on the right, Mihailo in the middle. And even when we brought on the subs, Roldan and Yedlin, we were constantly threatening Panama's goal, and I really thought we were going to go up 1-0. The end product wasn't there, and that has to be worked on, obviously, but I think BJ adapted to the game really well.
Yeah, Yedlin was a good change. I mean, that takes guts. Props to him. It's hard to change your backline mid-game. A lot of managers are really hesitant on doing that. But yeah, that was necessary because Reynolds, I mean, another guy that just wasted his chance. I was backing Reynolds to possibly be ahead of Scally by 26. Look at this tournament. I look like a fool. I mean, I thought that he had good performances in Belgium, but I think that this entire tournament, I don't rate any of his performances, honestly, in terms of a roster material, honestly. I just think that there's a clear gap between him and the first squad. All right, that was it for today. Arjun had to leave us mid-video, but thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Braden. Thank you, Shrey. Thank you, Jeff. I mean, all of the subscribers, we appreciate you guys again. I hope that you enjoyed the 100 sub special. We're gonna finally be able to kind of move on from the Gold Cup. We enjoyed this competition up to a point, but it's nice to cover other stuff next week onwards. So thank you so much. And if you could give us a like for the work rate, we had Sans level work rate for this Gold Cup. We'll try to be really consistent with the uploads. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.